Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pick a Side. Everybody knows, well, if you don't know, Jamal Adams is asking for a trade, and of course, JC and I are huge Jet fans. So we're just gonna get into it. JC, how do you feel about Jamal Adams asking for a trade?
The Jet side of me feels like it's a stab in the back. I mean, this is a guy we drafted. This is a guy our whole organization was excited for. He brought swagger to the team. He is right now. He's on the roster. He was my favorite player on the team. I know a bunch of Jets fans who he's their favorite player on the team. So to see him want to request a trade, I mean, I see his point of view. The Jets haven't really been really good for the past who knows how long, maybe 10 years. Last year, I felt like there was speculation of us trying to entertain trade calls to him. I mean, obviously, we weren't going to pull the plug on anything, but I feel like, him hearing that in the background, hearing that background noise made him kind of skeptical of continuing with the New York Jets. I know that this franchise, for the most part, isn't a winning franchise. I mean, if you see the teams that he has listed, those are all teams that have a winning culture, that have a winning atmosphere, and really good players around all of them. So, I mean, as a Jets fan, it kind of hurt because he is my favorite player on the roster, and I do think he's the best safety, and he's very entertaining to watch. But, I mean, if we put ourselves in his shoes, I mean, I can understand why he would want to request a trade. I do think that he should have handled this a little more professionally. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, as a Jets fan, it sucks because, this is a guy that everybody wanted. We got him, and he looks like he's on the verge of being out of New York. What do you think?
I honestly feel no way about it because I think we've known that Jamal Adams was kind of heading down this path for a while.
President.
Since the beginning of last season, he said that he didn't want to be on the team. He's been talking about getting traded for a while now. I don't really care if Jamal leaves or if he stays. Because if he stays, of course, we have one of the best strong safeties on the team. Mm-hmm. But if he leaves, we're going to get a lot back for him. People seem to forget that Jamal Adams has no leverage in this situation whatsoever. Yep. Jamal Adams is locked up for 3 more years. We don't have to trade him at all. Realistically, it would be an a-hole thing to do, but realistically, the Jets could be like, okay, we're not going to trade you, and you just won't play if you don't want to play for us.
Yeah.
And he could realistically sit for the next 2 years and
3 years, right?
And honestly, that'll ruin his career. The Jets have all the leverage in this situation. Would the Jets do something like that? Probably not, because nobody's going to want to play for the Jets. But in this situation, the Jets have all of the leverage.
I agree.
And Jamal Adams has none.
Do you think that he's doing this in a professional manner, or do you think he can handle this better?
Look, I think he's doing this in the most unprofessional way possible.
Exactly, I 100% agree with you.
But then again, we aren't sure what the Jets are doing behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Because
this all started when last season in the trade deadline, when we were entertaining some trades for him. We weren't gonna pull the plug on anything, but we took a few calls for him. He's the best safety.
We were entertaining trades for every single player on our team except Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think another reason with him is that he sees that these other safeties like Landon Collins got a big deal. Eddie Jackson, he's better than them. I feel like he wants that deal. But to your point that you made the other day, I mean, 2 or 3 of the Jets positions are really spent on middle linebacker, running back, safety.
Le'Veon Bell is the second highest paid player on our team, and C.J. Mosley is the first. If we pay Jamal Adams, the 3 top paid players on the Jets are C.J. Mosley, Le'Veon Bell, and Jamal Adams. We're not even sure if C.J. Mosley is going to be healthy.
And we're not sure Le'Veon Bell's Le'Veon right now.
So it would be such a bad move for the Jets to spend this amount of money. Aaron Donald has been the best defensive player for the last couple of years in the NFL. Last year, 2019, he made $19 million. Jamal Adams is asking for $20 million.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams is a great player, but he is not worth $20 million a year. He is not worth that. If I'm the Jets, I'm comfortable paying him around $13 million or less. 13 to 11 million. I'm not going over that number. Because, okay, I don't think it's hard to find a strong safety in the NFL that can have 2 more interceptions. than Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams has 2 career interceptions. I don't think it's hard to find a safety that could get 2 interceptions or more.
Dude, I think one of his interceptions came against the Lions one week, and then I don't even know when
The other one came against Jared Stidham in garbage time. And the pass.
Oh, you're right.
And the pass wasn't caught by the receiver. It was bobbled, and that's why Jamal was able to intercept that ball.
But I mean, look, if we're being honest, I mean, Jamal Adams is not really a ball hawk safety. You know what I mean? I mean, when I see him play, he's usually in the box. He's great at getting to the quarterback for a safety. He's great at making tackles. He's more of like a hybrid, more like of a linebacker. I think his lack of picks come because of the defense that we run and where we put him on in the field. But you know, I agree with that. I mean, I need more interceptions from Jamal. I mean, Marcus May has played less games, and he actually has more interceptions than Jamal Adams. I think he has like 5 or 6. So, I mean.
So, the real question is this. If the Jets trade Jamal Adams, would it be a good move?
So, I've been on board with trading him since last year just because I feel like what we can get for him in return is a lot. I think if we get maybe, 2 first-round picks, that's pretty good. I think if we get 2 first-round picks and maybe a receiver, I think that's really good. So, I mean, like, the caliber of player that he is, we're going to get something for him. And if we're getting picks, we have to, you know, bank on Joe Douglas making the right picks for him. But, yeah, I think we can get a lot for a player of his caliber. You know, in some instances, we might even win the trade if we pick right. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's always that's an anomaly for the Jets if they pick right. But I agree with you. I think the Jets trading Jamal, it would really depend on what they get back if it's a good move or not. Mm-hmm. Because Jalen Ramsey, who was in the last year of his deal, was able to get 2 first-round picks. The Jaguars were able to get 2 first-round picks for Jalen Ramsey. Jamal Adams is going to be cheap for the next couple of years. So I think it's reasonable to think that the Jets could get back 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Granted, I would want those 2 first-rounders to be either in the middle or early.
Of course.
You know, I don't want to trade with the Ravens to get the 31st pick in the draft.
Because you're not going to find a player. It's not that you're not going to find, but it's highly unlikely you're going to find a player
especially
at the 31st
with the Jets.
Especially
with the Jets. We aren't sure about the Jets. This is Joe Douglas's first draft.
Joe Douglas is all right, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Me too.
We aren't sure how any of these players are going to turn out. It's a Jets mindset to think that Joe Douglas nailed this draft without seeing any of these players play. It's a Jets mindset that a lot of people have already bought into. But look, these are the teams that Jamal Adams has on his list that he wants to go to. It initially was a 7-team trade list, but he added one. Mm-hmm. The list is the Ravens, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers. What do you feel about that list?
I feel like a lot of those are unlikely. I mean, I have 3 teams that I think could realistically have a shot at getting him.
Which ones?
I think it's the Eagles, Seahawks, and Cowboys. Eagles, you know, they need help with their secondary. I mean, one of our podcast partners here, River, he was complaining about their secondary all year. They got Darius Slay, but you get someone like Jamal Adams, you're instantly going to have a better secondary. The Seahawks actually need help in their secondary as well. Yeah, the Eagles and Seahawks just solely on the reasons that they need help, you know, to revamp their secondary. And the Cowboys, I just said the Cowboys because, you know, if you didn't know, Jamal Adams was on film the other day saying that he's trying to make a trade to the Cowboys happen. Probably highly unlikely, but, I mean, this has been known for, like, maybe a year now that's, like, his preferred destination is the Cowboys. I think he grew up in Texas. You know, he wants to play for the Cowboys. I mean, they're a world-class organization, so...
What?
They are. They have a lot of money. They have a shitload of money. I mean, they have 5 rings. They haven't won anything as of late, but they're America's team to this point. And
they're America's team, but they're not a world-class organization.
All right, as of late, they're not, but they're really...
As of 20 years.
As of late, I mean, look, they've had, 3 good seasons now?
Look, we'll just say
13-3 with Dak, his rookie year.
The Jets have made more AFC championship games in general than the Cowboys have in the last 20 years.
Okay. Well, I think me
world-class organization.
Wait, I call myself because I think I'm more solely speaking on the fact that they're America's team and everybody wants to play for them. I mean, Earl Thomas a couple years ago wanted to play for them, so I mean he's a hometown boy. I really think that those are the 3 teams. The Cowboys, just because I know that he wants to play for them. He was caught on camera saying it yesterday that he's trying to make it happen. So those are the 3 teams that I think that I could see Jamal Adams playing for.
I think my list is the same as yours, but I actually think that the Eagles aren't a realistic destination. Because I think the reason they didn't pay Malcolm Jenkins was because he was asking for too much money.
Mm-hmm.
So I doubt that they're going to pay another safety that amount of money, or they're going to want to extend Jamal Adams. I think realistically, the Ravens, because Lamar Jackson's still on a rookie deal, so they have the money to sign Jamal long term.
That'd be crazy.
And Jamal's not going to ask for a contract extension either way. Because the reason why he wants to get traded is not because he wants a contract. It's because he doesn't want to play for the Jets. Let's just be honest about that. It's not about the contract. He just doesn't want to play for the Jets.
Fine.
So the Ravens, realistic in my opinion, and I think that's the best destination. Seattle, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, I agree, and I think the Buccaneers are a realistic destination for Jamal Adams.
Is that one of the teams he wants to go to?
Yeah, these are all of them. I would love to see Jamal Adams in Tampa Bay.
So all good teams.
With Todd Bowles, reunited with Todd Bowles.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. They got Shaq Barrett. They have a pretty good defense on there in Tampa Bay. You add Jamal Adams, that's borderline crazy.